Reform MP James McMurdock resigns whip pending business propriety investigation. Yes, that's right. Allegations relating to conduct during pandemic due to be published by national newspaper. It quickly emerged that Mr. McMurdock had suspended himself after the Sunday Times approached him with allegations that he borrowed £70,000 under the government's bounce back loan scheme during the pandemic in 2020. He had two companies. The former had no employees and negligible assets, it said, and took out a £50,000 loan in 2020, the maximum amount available. It would have had to have at least £200,000 in turnover to receive the loan. He resigned as a director and transferred his shares to his mother in 2021, the Times reported. The second company was dormant until 2020, but in 2021 borrowed £20,000 under the scheme, which would have required a turnover of 100.
This is an example of a human being who's picked himself up from a terrible situation and made a big success of it.
But in terms of being a MP and representing constituents, my point here is not what happened. My point is that there is a discrepancy.
100,000. So, will Farage be so willing to brush this claim to one side the same way he did when he framed the story of McMurdock repeatedly and savagely kicking his girlfriend as she lay on the ground back when McMurdock was 18, making it a story of redemption that McMurdock was a wayward lad, made good? Well, we'll see how Farage does.
We've heard many moving and personal accounts this afternoon from members addressing the scourge of violence against women and girls. An incident I wish to highlight involves a young woman who was violently attacked outside a nightclub. The man who was her attacker was also her boyfriend at the time. By his own admission, the young man said he only pushed her and she fell to the ground and was hurt. Court records subsequently revealed that he repeatedly kicked her around 4 times.
It's not something that I would want for my daughters.
It was reported in the Daily Mail that the attack was only stopped when 2 doormen had dragged the attacker away from the young woman and then called the police. The man was arrested and charged with assault. The Times reported that he initially denied the charge, maintaining his innocence, meaning both his victim and witnesses were forced to relive the attack by giving statements to the police ahead of going to trial. The young woman herself was left with both injuries and lasting mental scars.
I couldn't say on that. I mean,
he said I pushed her over.
I believe you.
But
I haven't
that's
seen the discrepancy.
Court document.
It's a spent
what did
conviction,
he tell you
end
he'd
of
done?
conversation.
Well, what did he say
Spent
he'd done
conviction,
to you?
end of conversation.
Speaking to the Daily Mail, the victim's mother described how it had taken 2 security guards to pull him off her. She explained how he left marks on her body from the violence of the assault, going on to describe her attacker as a monster, stating that there is no way he should be an MP in the House of Commons representing people. As of July, her attacker now sits on these green benches as a Member of Parliament.
And a clear message has to be sent, because you cannot have terrible behaviour like this escalating. It absolutely needs to be nipped in the bud.
You're talking about an inside Westminster story that you want to talk about.
If you want to professionalise the party, then these are questions people are going to ask. And if it was another political party and this has happened, you would expect me to ask them as well.
Those constituents were only made aware of this crime when the story was reported in the Daily Mail on the 12th of July. After the story broke, the member referred to it as a teenage indiscretion, even as recently as last weekend during a fractious Sky News interview. Whilst the member maintained that the assault was nothing more than an argument, followed by a push where his former girlfriend fell over and was hurt, the court register extract from Chelmsford Crown Court relating to the conviction explains the reason the judge awarded a custodial sentence, stating that the sentence was not suspended in light of the serious nature of the offence.
Click here for a bunch of rotten, dumb and bigoted reform councillors who haven't got a clue how to run a council.